Welcome back to Barcelona Metropolitan. We're here again talking to Anna Klevtsova about a very important immigration issue, and that is the new two-step procedure that to obtain residency for British nationals who are here in Spain. Anna, this is really important, and I understand the embassy and the consulate had a huge turnout for all these new procedures, and we're really happy to have you to explain this to the British nationals who have questions. So if you don't mind, let's jump right into it. And in the beginning of July, Spain introduced a new procedure to get these certificates. What can you tell us about it?
Yes, indeed, and as you mentioned, it was quite a recurrent topic in the recent weeks, as there is a big British community in Spain, and in that sense, the British embassy and the British consulates, they were very active, and they published a lot of material and updates on the topic. And yes, for all new applications starting from 6th of July 2020, Spain introduced a new two-step procedure. So now it is not like before, when the British nationals, they went in the same process as any other European citizens. But all new applicants, they must first now apply for the residence authorization in the immigration office of the province where they live. And then after the authorization is granted, apply for the residence card in their local immigration police station. And from now on, the UK citizens, they will be issued not with the green certificate anymore, like the other European nationals, but with the new document that is called TIE card, Tarjeta de Identidad de Extranjero. And this card will indicate the type of permit as the beneficiary of Article 50 of the Treaty of the European Union.
Okay. So is this new procedure the same as would apply to an American, Australian, or Canadian?
Well, it is a sort of transition in between those two, in fact, because the two-step is generally the same as, the citizens of US, for example, or Australia or Canada or any other third country. They need to go first for an authorization and only then get the new TIE card. However, there is a big difference, and it is very significant, is that the requirement to get that authorization for now remain the same as for the other European nationals, which is much simpler than for the third countries. And also, one very important difference is that this paperwork is processed directly in Spain and not through consulates like third country nationals. And just to sum up, the two steps are first, obtain a residence authorization from the immigration office of the province of your residence. And step two, obtain a TIE card in the immigration police station in the province of your residence.
Okay. So can you talk to us a little bit more about the requirements? What documents do the people need? Or is it just, I guess, for the different steps? Sorry.
Yes, as it is a two-step procedure, for step one, the documents are the same as you would normally bring to the police station, well, up until now. And of course, you will need your passport and a copy of the first page, the main one with the information. And then depending on what is your status in Spain, you will need to bring either your employment contract or proofs of registration as a sole trader. Or if you don't intend to work, at least initially, you'll need to show that you have sufficient funds to maintain yourself. Those are for the same as for other European nationals, of about 7,000 euros in total. And a private health insurance policy, so you will not be dependent on public funds. And you'll also need to show your address registration to demonstrate that you are tied to a particular region. It's in Spain, it's called padrón or empadronamiento. However, here we have several town halls that first require you to have your residence card, and only then they allow to get a padrón. So in that case, if that is your situation, you can just bring alternative proofs of address, such as your lease or rent or a property deed, etc. And they will be accepted by the immigration office. And in general, the new procedure requires to demonstrate that you have already started your residence in Spain by any proof accepted in law. So in general, that all those documents that I mentioned before, they will be considered such proofs. But again, depending on each particular case, there may be some other documents that can be provided also. And it is also important to note that the application form has changed now, and the new one is called X20. And this type of applications for step 1 can be submitted electronically online. So if you have a digital certificate, you can do it yourself, although it is a little bit difficult because not everybody can get a digital certificate if you are just in the process of settling. And it is also possible to do through a representative, for example, through a lawyer. And if you don't have a digital certificate, you can book an appointment with the immigration office, and that process will depend on the particular region where you are settled. For example, in Spain, the immigration office created a special email where all these applications need to be sent directly. And after you submit this application, you will receive a receipt that will be a sufficient proof of your legal stay in Spain until the application is resolved. And then finally, after you receive the authorization from the immigration office, you can apply for the residence document, the so-called TIE card, in the corresponding immigration police station. And for that, it will be necessary to book an appointment on the police website. And depending on the region, the exact option may be a little bit different, but in general, all of them will have a word Brexit that you can find.
Okay, well, for the avoidance of doubt, are there any documents that one should make sure to bring with them to the police station, or is a passport sufficient for the UK nationals?
Well, in Spain, it is never enough to bring just a passport, and you always have to bring something else. And yes, you will also need to bring a different set of application forms. In that case, the one for the police station is called X23. And you will also need to pay a fee in advance, the immigration fee that you can pay in any bank, but before going to the police station. And for now, the amount of the fee remains the same as for the other European citizens of about 12 euros. And the difference with the previous one is that you will also need to bring the passport size photos because it will be a photo ID. And of course, the copy of the authorization that you received from the immigration office earlier.
Okay, that doesn't sound too hard. How long do you think the people should expect it to take?
It will certainly be longer than before, and here, as there are several steps involved, the total time will depend on how each of these will go. And the first one can take up to 3 months. We certainly expect that it is going to be faster because the documents that need to be studied are not so complicated. And we don't know yet how long it will take. We are waiting for the resolution of the first applications that we submitted last week. But for now, well, one week passed and we don't have yet the decision. In general, in the time frame, it will depend. You will need to add the time for the step 1 and also the availability of the appointments in the police station for step 2. And then after that, because it is not going to be the same as before, you will not walk out with the residency document like with the green certificate. It will take approximately 4 weeks until you receive the new TIE card. Because they don't issue them, they don't print them in the police station. You need to go back to collect it.
I see. Okay, and I understand that these are the new procedures since the July 6th up until the end of the year, right? So December 1st is an important date. What happens after December 31st?
Unfortunately, we don't have yet the answer for that, and it will depend on the outcome of the negotiation between the UK and the European Union, whether it is going to be finally a deal or at least a specific bilateral agreement that covers these matters. And I'm quite hopeful that considering the very close relations between Spain and UK, I'm hopeful that there will be some sort of regulation to simplify the procedures for new arrivals. But that is something that we will see in the next few months.
Okay. And then I have this other question. We have a lot of British people here who already have their residency, and they have this big document called the Green Residency Certificate. Do people who have this, do they need to do anything?
In fact, no, because their rights will be covered equally by any of that one. And the Green Residency Certificate, they remain valid as a proof of their rights under the withdrawal agreement. And the British Embassy has been very reassuring on that, both of these documents, they remain valid as proof of their residency rights. Eventually, at some point, British nationals with the Green Residency Certificate, they will want to exchange it for the new style TA card. However, it is not really, there is no any need to rush to do it in order not to collapse the immigration office, as the British community is quite large and there will be many applications eventually for that exchange. But when the time comes, eventually for you to exchange it, you can go directly for step 2 of the process to obtain the new card, the TA card, without the need to get the authorization.
Okay, well, that's pretty straightforward. Thank you so much for those 7 questions. The only thing I have left, is there any thing else you would like to share with our readers and our viewers?
Sure, perhaps it would be helpful to have, we can pass you the links to the application forms to download them directly. And also for the option that they need to choose to book the appointment with the police station.
So we can get a screenshot of the new form that people need to fill out. The one that specifically says Brexit is the one they need to choose, correct?
Correct. And the new application forms that are X20 and 23.
Okay, well, we jumped right into the discussion today. I didn't give you a chance to introduce yourself or your firm. Do you mind sharing that with us?
Sure. My name is Anna Klevtsova, and I work for Klevtsova International Law Firm, and we attend all sorts of immigration matters, among other things.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, and have a fantastic day. We will be continuing to look for your support as the immigration rules and regulations evolve. And just want to do a quick thank you and make sure to all my Brit friends, make sure you're registered and signed up, and make sure all of these post-Brexit issues that people are concerned with are handled as soon as possible. And I strongly recommend that you get in touch with Klev and Vera. Anna, thanks so much for answering these questions, and I guess we'll see you soon.
Thank you, Victor. And yes, it is very important for those who don't have yet the residency certificate to do it on time in order not to pass that deadline of the 31st of December.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.